I filmed the first impressions for Sousei no Onmyouji, but then I went on trip and I got sick and I traveled more and I came back and got sick. So the Sousei no Onmyouji vlog has been pushed over until now. And we're finally doing it. We're finally reviewing Sousei no Onmyouji. And some of you guys are probably going like, Cloudy, the anime is not over yet. Chill out. Just wait a few more weeks. But I am actually really excited to review this show. So here we are going to go. We're going to talk about Sousei no Onmyouji today, which is at about episode 15-ish right now. I have been a few weeks behind, but I was going to review the show when I thought it ended at the 13 episode mark, and it didn't. So I didn't end up doing like a spring finale video of sorts. And so today I'm just going to generally talk about Sousei no Onmyouji and some of the developments that have happened since the beginning of the show and since the midway mark of the show. Sousei no Onmyouji is animated by Studio Pierrot, and it follows a girl named Benio Adashino who ends up meeting a guy named Rokuro and Mado, and these two kids are actually really genius exorcists within the supernatural world. This show follows these two twin star exorcists who are supposedly supposed to give birth to the savior child who is going to end the supernatural demon world once and for all. No pressure, right? I initially really liked Sousei no Onmyouji because I do have an interest in fantasy supernatural shows, and the art direction for the show was quite unique. The exorcists fight in a realm called Magano, and it's kind of a distorted demon realm that only the exorcists and the demons can enter at will. Sometimes humans get kidnapped into the Magano world, and demons will sift through the Magano world into the real world in areas where people have really negative emotions. So negative emotions are the weaknesses of humans, and demons kind of prey on that, and so they'll follow these humans around and try to get through the barrier this way. The exorcists are in charge of using enchantments to purify the demons and seal the Magano world. So it's a really interesting premise, and there's an entire group of exorcists that are the badass epic expert exorcists. And at the beginning of the show, I was really only interested in seeing each of the deadly expert exorcists appear in each episode so that I could see their fighting style, and each of these exorcists are very, very unique. The show builds up Rokuro and Benio as the be-all, end-all exorcists. They have so much potential and they're only like 14 to 15. The head exorcist of the entire organization forces them to live together so that they can develop good feelings and relationship, and then in the future they can marry and have a child that's going to save the world. I don't know how this prophecy is going to play out, and the first half of it actually moves quite slowly. Rokuro and Benio do develop quite well off of each other, but the show is very character driven in that the plot is not strong enough to stand on its own. The world itself is quite two-dimensional, and Rokuro and Benio are the only ones with a sense of tangible personality in the show. Everyone else seems like a cookie cutter image that's either there for the sake of plot device or comedy relief. And even so, Rokuro and Benio's backstories are not as unique, but later on we do find out that their backstories are intertwined. So the baggage that they're carrying and the secrets that they're unwilling to share and the motivations for them to become great exorcists is what is keeping me tied to the show, because there isn't really anything that's interesting me. The Magano doesn't seem taken as seriously as it should be, and we don't really get an overview of how these exorcists work their magic. You would think that the organization has a more structured way to approach these demons, but information is only revealed on a need-to-know basis. And I would really like to need to know more, because it's quite an interesting world, and I do think that the authors could have done more with it, but I think the perspectives of the storytelling is restricted because Benio and Rokuro are still children, and there's a lot of filtering when people tell them news about the world. There's a lot that they haven't seen. There's a lot of darkness in the politics of the Exorcist world that they don't know about. I hope that by the time we get to the 24 episode mark, that the series will actually unfold more of the world to see because once you get past the 12 episode mark, there's this really powerful demon that comes out that is sentient, and none of us actually knew that was a thing. It seems like it's not general knowledge, and nobody seems to bring it up. And when it comes up, people are like, oh yes, that demon exists. It's so powerful, though nobody will ever be able to beat it. But these twin star exorcists definitely will, right? Yeah, story development. Sousei no Onmyouji is kind of poorly organized in that sense, and things are kind of developed haphazardly except for the two main characters. I'm already about 13 episodes invested in it, so I really want to finish the show, but other than that, I'm not too fazed by what happens because I'm not really attached to any of the characters, and the story hasn't really given me a reason to be really attached to the characters. So these are my thoughts for Sousei no Onmyouji. I really only followed and finished this one series from the spring anime season. I wasn't a big fan of the stuff going on in the spring anime. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in Sousei no Onmyouji. I haven't read the original material from which this show is based off of, and I believe it's originally based off a manga. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can check it out. It falls under the genres of action, fantasy, shonen, supernatural, maybe even a little bit of romance, but the art style is definitely a bit darker, and the Magano is portrayed quite grimly in comparison to other shows that have demon aspects. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, don't forget to hit like or subscribe for more from me. Until then, more videos about fandom stuffs will be coming very soon. I do have an entire list of videos to do, I just haven't gotten to it yet. I hope you guys are well, and I will talk to you guys in my next video very soon. Bye!